Welcome to my 2025 Godot Beginner's Guide. If you're excited about creating your first game but don't know where to start, you're in the right place. Today I'm going to take you through the basics of Godot. Let's get started. So when you first open up Godot, you will see a couple of things. There is a 3D viewport with this default view, and you have 4 major panels. 5 now actually thanks to Godot 4.4. The 2D viewport which lets you see 2D scenes. Then you have the 3D viewport which lets you see 3D scenes. There's the script tab which allows you to see your scripts. By the way, in Godot we call coding scripting. Then you have your game tab. This is primarily for running scenes, but I'll get to this a little later. You also have the asset library, which is for downloading assets. Then you have your dock tabs, or docked panels if you want to call them that. You have your main dock tab on the left, which is for adding nodes and managing scene trees. You may spend a good bit of time here, but I don't think you'll be spending the majority of time with this panel. I believe you'll spend the majority of time on the right panel over here, or what's known as the inspector tab. This tab allows you to edit nodes properties. Next to this tab, you also have tabs for signals and groups, and then there is the history tab. This tab allows you to view your scene's entire history. In the bottom left you have the file system dock. This tab is for loading and managing files and assets for your scene. These files can be anything from PNGs to audio to 3D objects. Staying on the left side, you can see in the corner here, you have this group of drop downs. The scene drop down has options for creating, saving, and running scenes. The project drop down is for project wide settings and tools. The debug drop down has tools for debugging your game. The editor dropdown has settings for the Godot Editor itself. So this would be the way docks and tabs are laid out. Themes and some other important things. The help dropdown has options for access to documentation and debugging info, transitioning from the top left to the top right. The play button will run your main scene. The main scene can be set from the settings, or it will ask you to set your main scene when you press the button. Then you have the pause button. This is mostly for debugging. There is a stop button which will close your project and send you back to the editor. The button next to your stop button is for remote deploys. Remote deploys in Godot let you test your game on another device. The run current scene button will run whatever save scene you are currently on in the editor. Then there is the run specific scene button. This button will open up a little pop-up menu where you can select which save scene you want to run. Then there is the movie maker button. This button will enable movie maker mode, which is primarily for cinematics. There is the rendering method button. Typically you would set this in the project manager and then leave it alone. It can also be set in the editor, but you have to restart the project for the change to take effect. And finally, there is this bottom panel. By default, you have the output button, which displays log, print statements, and errors. Then there is the animation button, which manages and edits animations for nodes. There is also the audio button, which controls and visualizes audio buses. There is the debugger, which shows errors, performance stats, and other debugging tools. And then you have the shader editor for creating, loading, and editing shaders. So that is the general overview of the Godot interface. The most important thing to remember is that all of this stuff is flexible and can easily be changed around to fit your liking. In the next part, I'll go over how to create and save your first scene. Until then, take care.